Hey guys, so before we get started on Monday, I wanted to go over a couple things that really helped me in the beginning of my first challenge group that I thought would help you guys too. Because there are a couple things that I think we all have in common that could be a problem, and that would be temptations and things that already exist in our house. So let's think about that for a second. Where am I going with that? Well, the biggest part of making a healthy change doesn't come from the workouts. It comes from what you're eating, what kind of fuel you're giving your body. You've probably heard that saying that abs are made in the kitchen, not the gym. Totally true. 100% true. So I'm going to talk a lot throughout the course of this challenge group about meal prepping, meal planning, recipes, of course, healthy pumpkin recipes, because I want you to start making over your eating habits so that you can have a really strong lifestyle where you're eating healthy, you're eating in moderation, those things that aren't as healthy, and you know what you're putting in your body. That's the most important thing. So before a challenge starts, a lot of people normally are thinking, what do I do to get ready for this thing? The first thing that I want you to do to get ready is to kind of survey your house, because your house can be a danger zone. And when I say your house, I should probably throw in there your office space, wherever you spend the majority of your time throughout the day. If some of you guys work a lot, maybe you have a lot of things that you're in your desk at work or in a little kitchen or wherever that may be detrimental to your success. Because I'll tell you what, we all have things in our home that aren't good for us. And if those things are there, those temptations, we tend to go to those or gravitate to them when we have a bad day or excuse or just craving something. Back in the day, my big problem was always chips and chocolate. I have a really big sweet tooth, and I really like chips, especially Cool Ranch Doritos. And I would always have them in my house. And in my mind, I would tell myself, oh, I will have a couple here and there. But in reality, when I was feeling it, that whole bag was going down in one sitting. And that's not good. If you have those kind of items around your house, it could really hurt you because they're there, they're tempting you. And they may, when you're trying to make a healthy choice, just kind of beat out the healthy choice because you're thinking, I love those Cool Ranch Doritos, that celery, blah. So what I want to talk to you about really quickly today is just how to kind of prep your pantry, your refrigerators, what's going on in your house or office space to set yourself up for success in the following weeks. What I don't want you to take from this video is for me thinking that you got to just ditch every single thing in your house and start from scratch. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is be smart about it. For me, the first challenge group that I did, I went through my pantry. I had a pretty extensive one where just things were accumulating. There was stuff in there I didn't even know existed. And that's what I want you to focus on, is just knowing what's in your home. So first and foremost, I want you to go through your cupboards, go through your refrigerator, and check expiration dates. Because a lot of times things linger that shouldn't be because they are long expired. Sometimes in the refrigerator, those things start to smell and you pick up on it and you throw it out really quickly. But if it's something in your cupboard, it could have expired for, years ago and you don't even know about it. So go through, check expiration dates, get rid of it. Also check the quality of products. If you've got dented cans or maybe you left a box of rice open or something and there could be things in it, you want to get rid of those because obviously you want to put into your food healthy items and not things that are tampered with that could possibly hurt you. So that's the first two things I always do because that's a really good clean sweep of things. Now, when you're going through your pantry, and now is a really great time with Thanksgiving coming up, I always look for food donations. What can I donate to somebody else? Of course, I want to eat healthy. I want everybody in this world to eat healthy because you feel better. But I know that sometimes me giving something that I have in my cupboard is a better alternative than somebody having nothing. So if I have boxes of macaroni and cheese or pasta or things that I have in excess, like around here, I always seem to have 100 boxes of spaghetti. I don't even know why, because I make my own. But anyway, that kind of stuff, those non-perishable items, take to your food bank. That way you're also doing good for somebody else, but you're also cleaning out your pantry and your items as well. But you really want to make sure that you're limiting the processed foods that you have handy. Think about your snacks. Think about your go-tos. What are the problems? Now, processed foods, and when I say processed foods, if you think about a grocery store, and how it's laid out. If you shop on the exterior and you go in and you walk around, you notice what's on the exterior. It's the stuff that's good for you. You're going to have your fruits and vegetables. You're going to have the produce and the meats. Then you're going to get into the dairy. Everything in the inside of the grocery store, that's where the processed food comes into play because those are things that have tons of chemicals, tons of GMOs, and altered items, heavy metals, things that are not bad, that are not good for you. And I'll talk about those things more. But a GMO, just to kind of break it down for you to give you a little lesson, is a genetically modified organism. So it's something that was taken from its natural state and given some kind of chemical to pump it up and to essentially harm your body. And there's lots of health issues that come in contact with that. And what I do when I'm looking at ingredients, I really look to see if it's got more than 5. Because honestly, if it has more than 5, then you're going to get into that category where you're dancing on the line of having some artificial sweeteners, GMOs, like I said, those kind of things added to it. Less than 5, you're pretty safe for the most part. So if you're eating fresh, that's definitely the way to go, because obviously you're going to have things that you can clean, make sure that they're prepared carefully, and they're good for you. If it can perish, it's good for you. That's how you want to think about it. If it can't, it could sit around for years, it's probably not good for you. So when you're going through your pantry, think about things in that aspect. Those things that are in that middle part of the grocery store, what are they and are they good for you? Another thing that I look at is my amount of white flour, because there's a lot of that, and white is not necessarily good for you. White rice, you know, if you're using white sugar, bad. There's a lot of alternatives we'll be talking about in this group too. But I just want you to get a good sense of what you have going on. And you may have kids, you may have other family members, of course, that are not on this health train with you, and that's fine. But just limit what you do have. And when you go grocery shopping, try to find some healthier alternatives like we talked about. So I want you to go through and just check things out when it comes to, you know, what's going on in your kitchen. So that way that you're on the ball and ready to go. The last thing that I recommend that everybody does is just make a list of some of the things that you have going on in your refrigerator and in your pantry. Because I'm going to be talking a little bit later on, I'll share another video about meal planning and meal prepping, which is something that I have found to be a huge success for me. And it's something I'll be talking about in this group a lot that's going to help you too. And in the beginning, I was a real hot mess with it. But if you plan appropriately and you know what you're working with, then you're not being wasteful. And chances are if you have it, you like it. So we can find a way to make it healthy and make it work. So make a list of the things that you have, or even the main things. If you've got a ton of stuff going on, I don't want you to write down every little thing. But go through your pantry. Do you have frozen chicken? Do you have frozen vegetables? Do you have brown rice? What kind of things do you have? So when we talk about meal planning, we can go through those and really make sure that we're maximizing what you do have. Remember guys, this is a learning process. And as confident as I am talking about meal planning and prepping and grocery shopping and all that good stuff, trust me, I was once lost in a deer in headlights when it came to this stuff, and it took me a little bit to get going with it. But you need to remember that every day you're making positive changes, even if it's a little bit at a time. Like instead of having 5 root beers a day, you cut down to 1. That's progress. And every little piece of progress that you make is going to contribute to the overall effect that you have on your body and the success that you have. So never, ever, ever think of yourself as a failure when you go through this group. Always look at those small victories. Always pride yourself in those, and just be a little bit better tomorrow than you were the day before or today. You know, that's the way you got to look at it. And if you do that, you're going to be successful because you're going to believe in yourself and you're going to know that you can do this. So evaluate what's going on in your home so that you come into this aware. And we'll be talking later on about some meal prep and meal planning. Lots of fun things there that will help you out. Bye.